selection of used tires and original equipment tires. The House of Flats, just south of Pine Ridge on Collier Boulevard in Naples. The House of Flats, also offering general automotive repair, from tune-ups and brakes to alignment, shocks, struts, and more. The House of Flats. Before you take your vehicle anywhere else, call to compare. The House of Flats will beat anyone's prices. 353-0600. The House of Flats.
The following is a paid commercial program. The opinions expressed are those of the participants and not necessarily those of 96 K-Rock and the Beasley Broadcast Group.
Recovery doesn't start tomorrow. Recovery starts right now. Here to help, it's Rated R for Recovery on 96 K-Rock and 96krock.com.
(277) or 775-9600. Little intro by Joe Walsh, the song One Day at a Time. We are Rated R for Recovery on 96 K-Rock and 96krock.com. I'm an alcoholic that doesn't drink, I'm a drug addict that doesn't use, and I'm a dead man that walks amongst the living, and that's by no righteous deed of my own. My name is Fletch.
Fletcher. And I'm just a girl who can't say no. My name's Joy Thomas.
Good morning.
Good morning. I just watched the history of the Eagles. Fabulous.
The Eagles, the band, or the Eagles, the football team?
The Eagles, the band, just like Joe Walsh was just now singing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good band. Good band. Fabulous band. It is 6:30 in the morning, Eastern Standard Time. However, my body and my mind and my soul tells me it's 5:30 in the morning.
Yeah, tells me it's yesterday.
Yeah, okay.
So if you're still up,
perhaps
chances are you need to hear this show.
Yeah, absolutely. The All-Star Jam went well yesterday, and why am I talking about the All-Star Jam? And I'll tell you why I'm talking.
I was going to tell you, but
you go ahead.
Oh, because we raffled off some tickets.
We did. And the winner of those tickets got to meet Skunk Baxter from Steely Dan, and then later the Doobie Brothers, the Mousy Thompson from the James Brown Band, Rick Derringer. Rick Derringer was with White Trash and with Edgar Winter's
something
band.
else, the Edgar Winter.
And then he had his solo hit with Rock and Roll Hoochie Coo.
Yep.
Which was written by Edgar Winter, I think.
I don't know, but I love that Edgar Winter band.
Yeah, that's a good band. Also, two members of the band Boston, which was Barry Goudreau, the lead guitar player, and Fran Sheehan, the bass player. So a good time was had by all. Those gentlemen were very gracious. The kids, they were kids who won the bid.
Who are also musicians.
They are. And what they did was they took a pick guard from a Fender Squier, which is an inexpensive version of a Stratocaster.
Right.
And the guy signed the pick guard.
Cool.
And I thought that was very cool.
That's way cool.
Yeah, I think it was good. Anyway, why don't you introduce our guest?
Our guest today is Brenda Iliff from Hazelden. Hazelden now has an office in Naples, and if you don't know what Hazelden is, you're about to find out.
Good morning, Brenda.
Good morning. Good morning. Thanks for letting us be here today. Thank you.
Okay. Well, tell us what Hazelden is.
Well, Hazelden is a chemical dependency treatment program. We've been around for almost over 60 years. We started in Minnesota, and we're about treating alcoholics and addicts. That's our mission, pure and simple. We offer hope, health, and healing for people affected by addiction and their families, because as you know, their families are hurting too.
Oh, amen.
Yeah, and we're here for the families also.
Absolutely.
We want to make sure we get the message out to families.
They're probably the ones that can help get people in recovery the best, you know. So we have a program in Naples, right downtown next to NCH in a way, right in that area. And we offer residential treatment for those who need residential. So some people need to get away, and they need to come and stay. We see a lot of people.
I'm laughing because you had to get me off the street to recover.
Yeah, I need to get away.
You know, others need to be still living life. So
my husband had to go to Key West to get sober.
Well,
how did that work for him?
Yeah, not to get.
Okay.
Yeah. He thought that was the plan. You just needed to stop in Naples. Don't have to go that far.
That's right. Now we're here. We've been here for 3 years and seen a lot of lives change. It's been wonderful to be part of the Naples community. bringing recovery here.
And you haven't been here in Naples very long. How long have you been down here?
Almost 3 years now.
Great.
So, and we know there's some good treatment around too, and we're not about competition. We're just about helping addicts and alcoholics get sober. We also have outpatient services. We have day treatment services. So some people, we just recently had a man come whose wife had MS. He couldn't get away for treatment. You know, he needed to go home and take care of her. So we're really about what do you need and what works for you. Some people need 3 days a week. Some people need 5. Some people need total immersion and to just get not locked up, because we're very much a community model. A little different than some of our other sites where you go and you're away for 3 months or 1 month or whatever. Here people may come in and they may stay a week, and then they may start going out to the meetings, because it's real important people start to experience real life.
I have a question though. You said 3 months. Does the Naples facility offer 28 days, or do they offer a little longer term?
Depends on what the person needs.
Okay, that's
Absolutely.
Really great to know.
So we've had people come for 10 days and then they go back to Massachusetts or whatever. It really depends on what the person needs. We've had people stay there almost 6 months.
Okay, so it's not limited.
Right, and they're not necessarily in residential. They'll start on 7 days a week, then they might move to 5 days a week as they grow in their recovery. And then some people might be in outpatient, so they're there 2 nights a week and Saturdays, but then they're out in the community working or volunteering.
Very flexible.
Absolutely, because this is about getting real life. This is not about being locked down. So the patients all live in condos. It's a pretty much freedom campus. They bring their cell phones. They have internet access. Very different model than most treatment centers, but it's about real life. So if people are going to get triggered, we want them to be triggered when they're with us so that we can work with them.
277 or 775-9600. We encourage your phone calls. We're not doctors. We're not therapists.
Well, you and I aren't.
I'm getting to the, yes, right.
Okay.
I meant you and I.
Okay.
Let me preface that by saying Joy and Fletch are not doctors. We're not therapists.
All right.
We are 2 people that have recovered from a seemingly hopeless state of mind and body, and to share our experience with you, the listener, you, the family, you, the employee, you, the employer.
Employers.
Oh, yeah, employers. I meant to say that. You, the wives, you, the daughters, you, the sisters, the brothers, anybody that's out there. Because, like you did say, everyone is affected by the addict or alcoholic and their behavior.
Amen.
That's all I got. I'll sit back and let you ladies talk now.
Okay.
All right.
So how did you get into this field?
Well, I started out in gerontology, and my heart was in chemical dependency too. So I worked in nursing home management for several years, and but my heart was in chemical dependency. You know, there's something about watching people's lives change so quickly, and so I went back to school and got my master's and started working with chemically dependent. When I was going to school for my master's, people would say, well, why don't you work in mental health? And there was no choice for me, because people, they either change or they don't when they get sober, and it's such a drastic change. So started working in a community-based setting for people who were court-ordered, and got to watch some of their lives change, and then in '94 started working for Hazelton up in Minnesota and as a counselor, and because of my background in management, I was able to move within the Hazelton system a lot. Worked within some wonderful settings, like a halfway house where people came for after treatment and got out and got jobs and got lives, and it was just wonderful to watch people recover. And so was the first director of their women's recovery center, so I just got to watch a lot of women get into recovery. And boy, you help women and you change families real quick, because women are so central to families.
We had some women in here last week from Street Chicks in Recovery. It's a real local grassroots trying to get started to help women on the streets, give them job skills and
practical, practical, and that's what we're about too. How do you do real life recovery? Let's get practical.
Yes. I'm just letting you ladies go.
And we're taking calls.
We are at 277 or 775-9600. You're listening to Rated R for Recovery on 96 K-Rock and 96krock.com. Tell us a little bit, what's your experience watching the women come in, different from the men? You ladies, the men, we all have tragic consequences to our actions. I was in jail all the time. I have a special, real big heart. I thought I had a heart. I thought I cared about you when I was out there. I didn't.
I know.
I didn't. I didn't care about you. But half of me did. There was something in my subconscious that said, where's your children? And not that mine was doing. I don't want to say that I was this holy moral guy. I wasn't, because mainly when I came in contact with a woman on the street, I wanted one thing, and that was it: to get a bunch of dope and have sex with her. So, but I always but that other half, that good part of me inside, cried, as I'm crying right now, because the women are different. And I don't mean just biologically. Their stories are extreme to a lot of times. And why don't you share us a little bit of experience on the women that you come in contact with?
Women get addicted differently. They progress faster. They start using for different reasons than guys. And recovery is different. Yes, recovery is the same, but it's different. And the big book years ago, the big book of Alcoholics Anonymous, many years ago, wrote down that women progress faster. And it really is true. And that's why it touches people's hearts, because when women start using, we go down faster. And that could be spiritually, that could be emotionally, but clearly physically. And we're created different, as you said. So as women, we're much more efficient with alcohol. Yeah, we are. I mean, it's really sad, but we have less of an enzyme in our stomach that breaks down alcohol, so we send it out into our systems much more efficient. And then we have more fat in our systems, so we absorb it better. And that's why they say one drink for a woman is like, it has double the effect, literally. And that's physiologically, but I also think it's emotionally and spiritually too. So other drugs have similar progression with women, but what we know is women do go down faster, and they need different pieces in recovery. It doesn't mean that the 12 steps don't work. They work. In fact, a recovery is a natural for women, because as women, our brains are different than guys too. So what we know is women are wired for connection.
Women are smarter.
Yes.
Not saying that.
That's what the Grateful Dead say.
Before we go any further, would you please give our listening audience a way to get a hold of Hazelden?
Sure. You can call Hazelden. We have people on the phones 24/7. 1-800-257-7800. Again, that's 1-800-257-7800. Or go on the web, hazelden.org, HAZELDEN.org. We have a screening right away when you get on the web that's anonymous. If you're worried about your drinking or drugging, if you're worried about somebody else's drinking or drugging, and it'll put together a little profile for you, like this might be a problem or this might not, or there's a lot of resources on there for free, and it's all anonymous.
Here's a question. Does Hazelden do those interventions like you see on TV? Do they do that?
We really believe that addiction is so painful. We would never do one on TV.
No, not on TV,
okay.
But do they do them?
Absolutely. We don't do them. What we'll do is, if people want an interventionist, when they call, we'll give them several names, and then they can look at.
Very good.
Yes. Because sometimes, and a lot of times, intervention on TV are pretty radical, but there's interventionists out there that will say, you know what, we're going to have a family meeting, and we're going to talk about your drinking and drugging. And if you'd like to come to this meeting, you're very welcome, because we want to work with you. But if you don't, this family's going to still be trying to figure out what to do so that they can survive with your drinking.
That's great to know. And no cameras.
Right, no cameras at Hazelden. For active patients. That doesn't mean, we need to get the word out that recovery changes people's lives.
Well, and recovery can begin with the family, and even if your loved one will not sit down with you, it doesn't mean that the family can't. There are things the family can do to begin to recover.
Right. Many times when the family learns what to do to close the back doors, the addict doesn't have much more choice.
Oh, and that's great. Could you explain that a little bit? Closing the back door. That's a great expression.
Oh, okay. With addiction, I mean, as addicts, like Fletch was saying, we just keep going down, down, down. We don't have a choice, and the family can be helpful. It's not their responsibility. They didn't cause it. They can't cure it, and they can't control it, but they can put some boundaries around so that, next time people like Fletcher in jail and they call for bail money. You know, it's like, I'm not going to do that this time. Nope.
Not doing it.
Oh, my gosh, why not? Oh, my gosh, why would you not get your loved one out of jail?
Well, and I think it's all important to talk about it beforehand, too. Don't wait for the crisis. So that when Fletch is sober for those 2 days or 1 minute or whatever, say, you know, next time you call me from jail, I'm not going to be bailing you out. You know, so that it's not a surprise. I bailed you out 10 times and now I'm not going to. That's not fair, but if I can tell you I have.
Yes,
so.
yes, and we love you very much, but perhaps, you know, if you're that bad and the police have to get involved, then we will be grateful to know where you are and that you are sober
and
for that
you're
night.
Safer.
My sister used to tell me all the time, I'm glad you're in jail. You can't hurt anybody, you can't hurt anybody, and you can't hurt yourself.
And we know where you are.
And we know where you are.
And we know you're alive.
Yeah, and we know you're safe.
Yeah.
We know you're safe. You're getting fed. You got a thing to sleep on with a blanket.
Yeah.
Then
safe.
you move your way up in the hierarchy of the prison system. You get a tent. You get a pair of shoes to wear.
Yep. And I never felt that way.
You're not wearing the flip-flops anymore.
You know, I always thought that was the worst thing you could do was send a loved one to jail and, oh, my God, not get them out. Oh, my God. And that the cops, if the cops got involved, that was bad. That was bad. No cops in our lives. We don't want them coming around. You know, they were always hurtful, harmful, bad guys who were trying to ruin us. And
I would be walking down the sidewalk and they would stop me. What do you got? What do you got on you? Let me see your ID. You got any warrants?
For no reason, right?
Yeah,
For
no reason at all.
Absolutely not.
I was an upstanding citizen minding my own business.
Hadn't showered in 2 weeks. I weighed 138 pounds and had no teeth.
And they knew
hair everywhere.
And they knew
looking
your
over
first
my
name.
shoulder. We're 277 or 775 9600. We're going to take a break right now. We'll be right back. This is Rated R for Recovery on 96K Rock and 96krock.com.
Motorcycling, boating, golfing, you choose. There's a map for that. Hey, Southwest Florida, it's Chris from the Biker Map. That's right, the 3 lifestyles of Southwest Florida. Motorcycling, boating, and golfing. Be sure to pick up a map to direct you to the best destinations to fit your lifestyle. If you can't find one, go to thebikermap.com, theboatermap.com, or thegolfermap.com, or anywhere 96K Rock is. And don't forget, there's a map for that.
Every Friday night at 6:45 p.m., experience Celebrate Recovery at Grace Church at 13 Southeast 21st Place in Cape Coral. The purpose of Celebrate Recovery is to encourage fellowship and to celebrate God's healing power in our lives as we work our way along the road to recovery. By working through the 12 steps and 8 principles of Celebrate Recovery, we grow spiritually and we are freed from our hurts, habits, and hang-ups. Celebrate Recovery every Friday night at 6:45 p.m. at Grace Church, 13 Southeast 21st Place in Cape Coral.
Have you been charged with a crime? You could face serious penalties for conviction, and it is vitally important that you have skilled legal assistance on your side during this time. Call Brian L. Edwards, Esquire, Attorney at Law today. 888-512-6254. Results matter. With a track record of success, our methods are tried and true. Mistakes happen, but we can help. Brian L. Edwards, Esquire, Attorney at Law. Visit FortMyersCriminalLawFirm.com or call 888-512-6254. Have you been considering a kitchen renovation or bathroom remodeling? There's no one better to call than the professionals at Honey's Construction. Value, beauty, and functionality. Get the right design for your kitchen or bathroom and add significant value to your home. Call Honey's Construction today at 229-4934 for a free in-home consultation. Honey's Construction's purpose and mission is to fulfill dreams and to be grateful for the many blessings we enjoy each and every day. 229-4934.
If you're looking for a place to find recovery, please consider the 1149 Foundation, located at 50 Pine Island Drive in North Fort Myers in the AutoZone Plaza. We currently have 3 meetings per day at noon, 5:30, and 8 p.m. We've been offering this area a safe place for over 20 years. No matter what you've done, no matter where you've been, you're not alone and are welcome at the 1149 Foundation. Come check us out or call 677-6107. That's 677-6107. Every Friday night at 6:45 p.m., experience Celebrate Recovery at Grace Church at 13 Southeast 21st Place in Cape Coral. The purpose of Celebrate Recovery is to encourage fellowship and to celebrate God's healing power in our lives as we work our way along the road to recovery. By working through the 12 steps and 8 principles of Celebrate Recovery, we grow spiritually and we are freed from our hurts, habits, and hang-ups. Celebrate Recovery every Friday night at 6:45 p.m. at Grace Church, 13 Southeast 21st Place in Cape Coral.
Get the taste of home while eating out. Gwendolyn's Cafe and Catering. Open daily for breakfast and lunch and located at 2400 First Street in downtown Fort Myers. Gwendolyn's Cafe and Catering specializes in homemade soups, salads, sandwiches, and desserts. And Gwendolyn's has been rated 5 stars by Urban Spoon and Yelp. Get the taste of home while dining out. Or let us bring the taste of home to your home with our free delivery. Gwendolyn's Cafe and Catering, 2400 First Street, downtown Fort Myers.
A Heavenly Cut Landscaping and Celebrate Pressure Washing has been serving Lee County for over 7 years. Commercial and residential landscaping is our specialty. We also have an experienced pressure cleaning staff as well. A Heavenly Cut Landscaping and Celebrate Pressure Washing offers a free on-site estimate and is available by calling 738-9009. That's 738-9009. We are grateful for the opportunity to help beautify your property. Call today, 738-9009. A Heavenly Cut Landscaping and Celebrate Pressure Washing.
That's gonna leave a mark. But not if you bring your vehicle to D-Hab Your Automotive Rehab, your one-stop shop for all auto body work and paint. No job too big or small. With over 25 years experience, D-Hab can make your vehicle look like the accident never happened. D-Hab Your Automotive Rehab is located at 2534 Highland Street, 1 block off Edison Avenue in Fort Myers. So if you have a scratch, ding, dent, or bent, call D-Hab Your Automotive Rehab at 332-1813.
My name is April, and I'm an addict. I totaled my car and trashed the best guy I ever had before I got help. Thank God for Swafis. They saved my life. Now I go for counseling once a week, and life is good.
Alcohol and drug problems don't have to ruin your life. Swafis has outpatient, detox, and residential programs for all. Addiction is a disease. Recovery is possible. We will help. Call 332-6989 now or visit us online at swfas.org. Designs that are enduring. Designs that are engaging. Designs from Ensight. Ensight is a leading Florida-based design, planning, and engineering firm offering innovative planning, landscape architecture, civil engineering, and more. Whether it's a place to live, work, learn, shop, or play, let the award-winning design team at Ensight help you achieve today's needs and tomorrow's possibilities. Call Ensight at 226-0024 or online at en-site.com.
Feeling alone? Feeling lost? Feeling helpless? We're here to help. Call 277 or 775-9600. Rated R for Recovery on 96 K-Rock.
Whiskey bottles and brand new cars. Oak tree in my way. There's too much coke and too much smoke. Look what's going on inside you.
277 or 775-9600. I have a strong desire to sing with the songs we have.
Always.
I know, but
We're going to have to get a couple more songs, though, eventually.
the program director of 96 K-Rock says there's one thing I don't want you to do
Don't
on
sing.
the air. And I said, what is that? And he said, sing. 277 or 775-9600 for all of you that want to call into the show and have a question for Brenda or just to comment, whatever you want to do, just give us a call and we'll talk to you. It's as simple as that. Do you get a lot of calls? What about, you know, another thing, my mother, God rest her soul, died thinking that my addiction was something she did wrong in raising me.
Oh, bless her heart.
Shouldn't have said that.
What's her first name?
My mom?
Mm-hmm.
Well, now where you go? Why are you going there?
I'll tell
Ethel.
you. What, Ethel, I'll keep her in my prayers.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Because I get emotional, you know. I wrote a letter to my mother, you know, and then
Did you?
And burned it, you know.
After she passed?
Yeah.
Did she ever see you sober?
No.
Never? Oh,
No,
wow.
never did.
She probably is now.
Oh, yeah.
You know.
All right.
Liz, no.
Talk amongst yourselves. I'll be.
She's here this morning, and now we can say hi.
She is. All right. So when you get these calls from mothers, gosh, that says that I don't know what to do because there is nothing they can do.
Right.
There's boundaries they can set. They can go to Al-Anon. They can learn about what the addict is like and how not to enable the addict. But other than that, other than saying you can't live here anymore, no, you can't have any more money, and no, like we said before, I'm not bailing you out of jail. What do you tell them?
Well, in general, there is hope for people. But when you say there's nothing they can do, there is things they can
Yes.
do.
Like what?
Well, you named some.
Well, yes.
You said there's nothing you can do, but then
they
you
wanna
listed
save
things that
them.
they could do. I know, but
They want to save them, and they can't save them. And
Right,
to tell a
right.
mom that she cannot save her son or daughter is sometimes unacceptable to them.
You can do some education. One of the things we do a lot of is education. Trying to teach people about this disease and that you didn't cause it. You did not cause it. And once you start teaching people too, and sometimes with an older adult, it might be there's so much stigma. It's so bad to be an addict. But giving people education, go on our website and get some education. What about this disease? What is it? Why are you calling it a disease?
why is it a disease?
Are you copping out? Are you, and I always tell patients, this is not a cop out.
If you just knew better, you would do better.
Why don't you just stop?
Right. Why don't you just stop?
Good Lord, put it down.
Well, and you're good in everything else.
Yes.
You're a doctor. You're a lawyer.
You're so smart.
Absolutely.
You're so smart. You're beautiful. You're this. You're gregarious. You have all these talents. Why don't you just stop?
I like that word. Gregarious. I'm gregarious, aren't I?
You are
You can be,
gregarious.
yes,
you
You
can.
are gregarious. Yes, you are.
I'm going to call myself that a lot now.
I'll just call you Greg.
Okay.
But you're still an addict.
Yes.
Even though
I'm
you're
a gregarious addict, though. Yes. And I've recovered from a seemingly hopeless state of mind and body.
Yes, you have. And that's the hope.
And that's yes,
the hope.
it
And
is.
that's why we need to get the word out there that people do recover.
And if Fletch can do it, anybody can do
Oh,
it.
stop it. If
Oh,
you
it's
can do it,
that's
anybody
good.
can.
That's a good thing.
Yes, but it's true with all of us.
I know,
That's
but it's
right.
good
That's
when I
right.
say it to you.
Why?
I don't know, because it's fun.
It is fun. It is
Well,
fun.
and sometimes people listening, they may not have hit the bottom you did. They may not have ever been in jail. They may never have been arrested. They may never have had any physical damage. But
Lightweights.
well, no, but their spirits
Ooh,
are dead.
That's very unlike you.
Well, it was just
Because
a joke
the bottom
for her to say
but the
something
bottom
else.
has been raised.
Yes, isn't that
That's
wonderful?
right.
If I sharing my experience and I tell them how many times I went to jail and how I was on the street, and somebody might just say, "I don't want to do that.
Right.
I don't want to get there." So how did you get where you are today?
Or they may say, I'm not like that. And they aren't. So the other people who have stories that
Yet,
are
though.
higher, but part of this disease is denial. That we're
Well,
going to say, that's not going to happen to
well,
me.
yeah.
That's not going to happen to me. And it might not.
If I ever get that bad, then I'll do something.
You know what happened with me is that I was so bad that you were never as bad as I was, and that's what kept me. First of all, I was smarter than you, and you couldn't tell me anything. I'm not.
I know it.
I'm not. I didn't drink a lot, so how does this book pertain to me? And I'm not. No, I don't need to give it a chance. And I would lie to the gentleman that was trying to show me this book, and which was a person very close to both of us, and you weren't as bad as me. You weren't as hopeless. It was not as bad, meaning you didn't commit as many crimes or you didn't do as many drugs as I was. You weren't as hopeless as I was.
And the self unforgiveness. I cannot forgive myself for what I have done. There is no way.
Yes.
And if you knew who I was,
That's it.
you would be
I'm
doomed.
hopeless.
That's
I'm
it.
hopeless.
Tell us about your book.
Yeah. Well, first I just want to say that for most addicts, we think we're terminally unique.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes.
You were unique. You were unique. I
Everyone was either
unique.
better than me or worse than me. Everyone on earth.
Yeah.
And I didn't really see that until I got sober. And when I did, I could see how that was just keeping me apart from everyone else. How the addiction kept me isolated from everyone.
Yep.
Because there was no one on the same plane with me.
And no one would understand. No one would know what it's like to have their face
But you
in the
don't
carpet.
understand.
Yeah. And the reality is we all are unique. We all are unique. And the people listening that, you know?
Everyone. I heard that too. It's everyone is special. You know,
That's
I'm
right.
special, just like everyone else.
That's right. And that's why, like, with treatment, we need to individualize it to that person. This person may have trauma. This person may have chronic pain. This person may have lots of means and wealth, and they may need different things in treatment, you know. This person may have nothing. This person may have a history of 5 felonies. Okay, how do you individualize treatment?
Or simply
for that?
family problems, or simply
Absolutely.
relationship problems that that go along with their addiction.
And somebody else may call it a lightweight, but the reality is their spirit is dead.
Yes.
I mean, that's
the whole thing.
You know,
It doesn't matter how much or how long. What matters
Exactly.
is what happens to you.
That's right. That's right.
In your, you know, what happens to your feelings, where
and
you
with
lose your
women,
soul.
we go down faster. You know, because
You had said that.
You know, I mean, there's many reasons of physiological, but when I say women are wired for connection, they really are. When they look at the brain of a woman, you know, in fact, Fletch, you would enjoy this.
Wow.
At 8 weeks, that mother you were talking about,
Yes, ma'am.
you were inside your mama.
Yes.
At 8 weeks.
Yes.
And
I knew I was going to smoke crack at that point.
No,
Okay.
no. But you're all of a sudden testosterone got injected into your little brain at
Right.
8 weeks. And 3 things happened. Actually, many things happened. But one of the things that happened is the communication part of your brain
Yeah.
shrunk.
It did?
It did. It did. The hearing cortex shrunk.
I can't hear
Oh,
well.
I know about that.
Oh, stop it.
At 8 weeks. At 8 weeks.
Yes.
And the sex part became over 2 times as large. Now,
Well,
are we wired
2 times
different?
as large? I don't know if you're really talking about
No, I'm talking about in the brain.
Because I'm not that...
No,
I'm
no.
hung like a hamster, basically.
I'm talking about in the brain.
Oh, okay.
Like we
totally
needed to know
separate
that.
than organs.
Yeah, okay. All
Totally
right. Yes.
separate than
Yeah.
organs. And that's why we say women are wired for connection. So one of the things that addiction does is stop us from connection. So when women go down spiritually and emotionally, they're lost because they're not connected.
The
This
worst-
addiction gets right in the way, right smack in the way of any connection.
The worst thing is a spiritual death.
Exactly.
And when we say spiritual death, listeners, at 277 or 775-9600, we're not talking about a religious thing. This is...
No.
Tell us what we're talking about.
Well,
then.
it is basically connection. And, you know, I began to believe that I was a sociopath because I just did not have feelings for other people. I just didn't.
Is that what a sociopath is? I thought they were people that wiped out post offices.
Well, that's because they don't have, well, they cared about themselves, but not so much about anybody else.
Okay.
I just did not, I lost all my empathy for others, and I knew that there was something wrong with that. And I felt that I was so sick and had so many problems that I was just one miserable, cold lump of coal.
That was me! Does that mean I was a sociopath?
No. It doesn't mean that either one of us are, but it was a fear that I had because I really felt that I would not get that connection back between other people
Right.
and myself.
And it took time, didn't it?
Oh, yes, ma'am.
Yeah, it doesn't happen overnight. And sometimes when people get in recovery, they need to just be grateful for that 20 seconds of connection.
I would raise my hand and say, but you don't understand, I don't like people. And they would just laugh and say, keep coming back. You know, it's this wonderful fellowship will grow up about you. And I'm like, yeah, but
not for me.
You know, no. I want to play, give me the home game. I'll take it home and play on my own. And that doesn't work.
Is there a home version?
There is not.
Okay.
There is not. Doesn't work that way.
But you like people today, don't you?
First word of the first step is we.
We.
Doesn't matter whether I like people or not today.
Did you notice she didn't answer that with, yeah, I like people. It doesn't matter whether I like people or not. So you still don't like people?
It doesn't matter whether I like people or not. What matters is I've learned that I need people in my life. The first word of the first step is we. That's
very disheartening.
Program. If you can do this on your own, if I could do the home version, if I could do this on my own, I would. However, if I could, that would not make me an addict or an alcoholic, because by definition, an addict, and an alcoholic, we have lost the ability to do this on our own. We have to have help. And I've found that God works through people in wondrous and mysterious ways in my life and gives me the power to help others in my life. I just don't get to choose which ones are actually affected and helped. I just, my whole life, if and when I'm doing it good, is a love song between me and God.
That sounds really good.
It sounds
So
good,
when we're-
and on the good days, it's fabulous.
So when we're amongst and I can see that in you, but when we're around our fellows and we're socializing, nothing
People
to do.
make me nervous. They
our
just
friends,
make me nervous.
Our friends? Like, do
They're-
I make you
are they
nervous?
people?
Do I make you nervous?
Well, sometimes when you got the ADD thing going, and
What's
you just
that?
yeah, what's that? Ooh, shiny. when you change topics faster than I can answer a sentence, I get a little nervous.
You do?
Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry to make you feel uncomfortable. That was not my intention.
Well, and that's none of my, it doesn't matter. That's not the point. It doesn't matter whether I'm nervous or not. What matters is if I do what I'm supposed to be doing. If I allow somebody into my life, I let them know what's going on with me. I work through the steps with someone who's done it before so that they can help show me the way. And I have a God in my life and do my best to.
That change of subjects I do.
You're doing it right now.
A lot of times I do it on purpose.
Yeah, I know, but sometimes you don't, but then you act like you were doing it on purpose when you get caught, and so that's very confusing.
See,
but
all right,
we'll analyze you some other time because I got you all figured out.
Yeah, well,
okay.
I'm sure you do. Would you like to tell us about your book?
Sure. Back in 2008, we wrote a book through Hazelton called A Woman's Guide to Recovery, and it really focuses on it's meant to be for women that are just starting to look at recovery. What we found, though, is very interesting. It talks a lot about, what is addiction? Why are we addicts? How are we different than men? What might be helpful in recovery? And as you have said earlier, that most people find recovery through the 12 steps of Alcoholics Anonymous or through the 12 steps of Narcotics Anonymous or Cocaine Anonymous or Meth
They're all the same steps.
They are the same steps, yeah, with a little different focus on that particular chemical. But it also talks about some people might find recovery other ways. What we know is, especially for African American women, they find it through their church, so we need to support the principles that, and I know Celebrate Recovery is real big in Fort Myers,
Huge.
The principles are about connection,
right,
and finding a path that's not your path, that somebody else has figured out.
And even the book of Alcoholics Anonymous says, be quick to see where religious people are right, and that we have no monopoly on getting sober, staying sober.
I used my drug of choice every day, and if I wasn't using it, I was thinking about it. And there was no middle of the road, or I was asleep. That was it. So I find, because Celebrate Recovery, for instance, is a wonderful connection, but it's only once a week. So I need, and they tell you at Celebrate Recovery, this does not replace your outside stuff that you go to. Because if I smoke crack every day of the week, and that doesn't, I got to tell the listeners this, that it just because I'm talking about crack, it doesn't matter whether it's pills, heroin, sex, gambling, food, marijuana, alcohol, it doesn't matter. It's that. So let's just say if I use or did my hurt, habit, or hang up every day of the week, I can't go one Friday night a week to Celebrate Recovery and expect to feel safe. Let's put it that way. I need the rooms of my fellowship.
By the same token, I didn't drink every day. I was sort of a binge drinker, and I preferred to drink. But I could go, 3, 4, 5 days without a drink.
You had control.
Wow.
Well, and I don't know. I don't know if it was just control or I don't know what it was. However, so then I didn't feel like I needed to go every day because, I didn't drink every day. But I joined a home group that met twice a week, so I went twice a week as long as I could stand that, and that was about 8 or 9 months before I started feeling squirrely, and then I realized I was going to have to do more if I wanted to stay. You're either taking a step in toward recovery or you're stepping out. There's no standing still. There's
a whole bunch of ways that people get really amped about recovery. Joy, her husband, got sober first, and she said, by golly, if he's doing it, I'm going to do it. And that's a tool, right?
Actually, no. What I said was, I can do this one day longer than you can,
okay,
buddy.
So that was that was a challenge.
In the back of my mind.
So that helped, didn't it?
It did. It helped me until I realized he wasn't quitting, and I was going to have to do more.
What do you mean he wasn't quitting? He was using again?
No. He wasn't quitting recovery. I mean, he was in, and he was staying in.
He was all in.
And he was all in, and he loved it.
He still is all in.
And it changed him.
He's
probably listening right now. Attraction, not promotion. Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly. It is exactly.
And that's what families are going to watch when we're in recovery. They don't care what we say.
Nope.
You know?
Watch my feet.
And they don't care that we go to meetings every day. They care, are you kind to the kids? Are you kind to your
Yes.
nieces? Are you better in the car? Are you...
Can we have a conversation without you getting all defensive and up
Yes.
and, you know?
Yeah, they're watching our feet and our mouths and our actions and not, you know, what we say. Oh, I'm working on the 5th step. They have no idea and they don't care.
I'm sober now. Can I have the bank book back?
Our guest in the studio is Brenda. How do you say your last name?
Iliff. I-L-I-F-F.
Yeah, you need to help me with that. Come
I
on.
will.
Our guest in the studio is Brenda Iliff, the executive director of Hazelden and the Naples office, and we're blessed to have her here in the studio with us. She has written a book, and the book is called, I don't think you ever said the name of the book.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's A Woman's Guide to Recovery. A Woman's Guide to Recovery.
And how is that available?
It's available through Amazon.
Hazelden.org.
Yep, hazelden.org, HAZELDEN.org. Hazelden is known for their treatment services, but we're also known for our publishing. We're probably the #1 publisher of self-help books in the country. So take a look.
Let me ask you this: why does anybody need any other book other than the book that was written in? There's a book. For those of you, by the way, 277 or 775-9600. We have a caller on the line, gentlemen. Do we? We may. Let's make sure.
Well, I just want to say that you don't. You really only need, you only need to hear the message once, and you can be just fine. However, and I don't believe that knowledge alone gets you I shouldn't say it doesn't get you anywhere, because it does get you somewhere once you've put down the drink or the drugs or whatever it is. But you need to hear it all sorts of different ways.
Exactly. The Big Book of Alcoholics Anonymous, as you both know, was written in 1939. It was written by mostly men, but don't hold that against it. And I
did.
But many women
What
do.
do 2 rich old white men in 1939 have to do with my life
Okay,
Right.
we have Art on the line. Art, good morning. Art.
Good morning, Art.
Can you hear me, Art?
Good morning.
Turn your radio down, Art.
How are you?
Wonderful. Your radio off or turned down, Art?
Hello?
Hello?
Can you hear us, Art?
Can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Can you hear us?
Hey.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
What do you have a question for our guest or a comment?
Yes, I do. I'd like to. First off, I'm a long-time listener, first-time caller.
I love that. I know who you are.
Yeah, we both know who you are. Go ahead, Art. All right, does your last name begin with a V by chance?
Yes, it does.
I thought so.
I would like to know if you have, Hazelden has a detox facility, if people can come in off the street that have been using or drinking and
Great question.
They can get right in.
Good question, Art.
Actually, we do at several of our sites, but we don't at our Naples site. What we are is we're really trying to be an accessible and more affordable site for people than some of our other sites. So we use other detoxes depending on their needs. We might use NCH, and we can do a direct, because the one thing we know about detox is that's especially with alcohol. People are very, very sick, and they don't know they're very, very sick, and they're likely to die. So we need strong medical people there. And you're welcome to come and tour our campus at any time. I mean, call, please, so that we can protect patients' privacy.
Don't just stop by.
Although we do have a coffee shop right on campus.
Do you? For
the recovery community, because part of this particular site is getting people connected with the recovery community. So, you're welcome to stop by any day for the coffee shop and have a cup of coffee. And sometimes patients are over there having a cup of coffee, and we've seen many people meet their sponsor there. I mean, it's just fabulous to have the recovery community come in. But we use several different places if people need like a hospital type detox.
How's that for you, Art?
We're
That's
about
fine.
treatment.
I appreciate that.
Do you have any other questions or comments before I hang up on you? Okay,
I do not.
Have a wonderful day.
Thanks
Thank
for
you so
calling,
much.
Art.
You had mentioned NCH. What is NCH?
Oh, I'm sorry. It's a Naples Community Hospital. It's about 2 blocks from us.
Okay.
And they have a dual disorder unit. So sometimes people need a hospital-based, residential detox. So we can use them. Park Royal up in Fort Myers here, we can use them. Sunrise Detox. So we're open to where does the person need to go? It's individualized. It's not, cookie cutter for some people. So we're open to, some people go in their home communities. Some people go to other hospitals. So.
Matt, good morning and welcome to Rated R for Recovery on 96 K-Rock.
Good morning. How are you guys doing?
We are well. I can only speak for myself. How are you, Matt?
I'm doing good. I'm alive and working. Going to work this morning, so
okay.
No complaints from this end.
Okay. How can we be of service?
I have just a question. I went to treatment on the East Coast, and I'm in my lower 20s.
Congratulations. How long you been sober, Matt?
It's been 97 days.
All right. Rock on.
Oh,
rock on.
We should have sound effects.
Yeah, we will.
All right. That's up to Tripod Bill.
Yeah. My question was, whenever I was in treatment, we went to meetings on a regular basis over there, and I absolutely loved the meetings over there. I found a lot of people that were close to my age group, a lot of people that I could relate to. And now that I'm out of treatment and I live over here on the West Coast, around the Fort Myers area, I found it very, very difficult to find meetings with people that are around my age. It seems like the meetings that I go to around here, I'm like the youngest by about 25 years, and also there's a lot more people I feel like at the meetings that I went to when I was in treatment. Maybe that's just because our whole treatment center went.
Can I tell you what fellowship do you attend?
I'm still going. Like I just got done with the 90 meetings in 90 days.
Which fellowship?
AA or NA?
Oh, NA.
Oh, okay. Do you consider yourself an alcoholic?
I didn't until I got to treatment.
Because there's a young people's meeting Saturday nights at 7 on College.
And it's called It's
called Young at Heart, and it's young people in AA.
Okay. And that's good because although I identify as an addict, I actually like going to the AA meetings a little better.
Well, it's nice to like to go to them, but if you don't consider yourself an alcoholic, you might find it boring after a while. But if you did drink, and if you don't drink anymore, there is a young people's community here. It's not as big as the East Coast, but it's good and it's growing. And if you will call the AA hotline at 239-275-5111, they can get you the information. It's Saturday night, 7 o'clock at the First United Church of Christ.
Also,
it's
Matt,
7 o'clock, College.
If you have a car, there's also an active young people's group in Naples.
Yes, there is.
On Friday nights at I think 8 o'clock, and then they're starting another young people's group on Monday nights. So you're right. It's real important for you to connect with people that are out there living your age in recovery, because when you guys get on fire, you get on fire.
Yeah, but they are here and they are active.
Where do you live, Matt?
I live around the Fort Myers, Riverdale area.
Okay. Well, do you have to work today?
Yes, sir. I work at a golf course, so I work 7 days a week.
Oh, well,
wow.
When do you find time for a power greater than yourself and your meetings?
I usually go around the 8 o'clock time, the evening times. On Sundays, I get pretty caught up because I go to church at night. But this is pretty much my first meeting of the day whenever I listen to y'all, because I've been told that anytime two addicts get together, it's considered a meeting. So I consider this a meeting.
Oh.
Well, you don't know how much we appreciate that, Matt, because that's just our intention, is to have this just be a bunch of drunks and a bunch of junkies talking about recovery, and nothing ensures sobriety than one alcoholic or addict talking with another. More than anything.
Yes, sir. I completely agree.
More than anything. You want to hold on? I'm going to give you my phone number, my cell phone number off the air, and you can call me at any time. There's also a lot of young people that go to CA, which stands for Cocaine Anonymous.
Yep.
And there's a ton of young people in that fellowship. And there's a
convention coming up, a world convention.
There's a ton of stuff coming up. There's a picnic today. That's a free picnic.
Picnic today.
Yeah, for those of you that are well, you don't have to be. Those of you that are like us and want to have fun and sobriety, there is a picnic from noon to 4 at the Franklin Locks in East Fort Myers, and that is a free picnic, and there'll be a wonderful disc jockey out there playing music. What are you laughing for? This
we know
food.
him.
We do know him. And there's food, and there's volleyball and boating.
If you have a boat.
Well, my friend is bringing a boat.
All right.
2 of my friends are bringing boats. So do you have to work all day, Matt?
No, I get off around noon, 1 o'clock.
Sweet. You know where the Franklin Locks are?
Absolutely.
All right, we'll see you there. Go over to the DJ and he'll point you out to me. He'll point me out to you. Is that what? Am I saying the right thing? Yeah. All right, Matt. Have a great day. We'll see you this afternoon at the Franklin Locks. And
you gonna give him?
We have to take a break.
Number? Yeah.
We have to. Oh, I hung up on him. I hung up on him. So call back, Matt. I hung up on you. Not intentionally. It's not like I don't like you or anything. All right, we'll be right back. You're listening to Rated R for Recovery on 96K Rock and 96krock.com.
From the huge studios, WRXK, Bonita Springs, Naples, Fort Myers, a Beasley Broadcast Group station, 96K Rock and 96krock.com. Talk that rocks.
Have you been considering a kitchen renovation or bathroom remodeling? There's no one better to call than the professionals at Honey's Construction. Value, beauty, and functionality. Get the right design for your kitchen or bathroom and add significant value to your home. Call Honey's Construction today at 229-4934 for a free in-home consultation. Honey's Construction's purpose and mission is to fulfill dreams and to be grateful for the many blessings we enjoy each and every day. 229-4934. Get the taste of home while eating out. Gwendolyn's Cafe and Catering. Open daily for breakfast and lunch and located at 2400 First Street in downtown Fort Myers. Gwendolyn's Cafe and Catering specializes in homemade soups, salads, sandwiches, and desserts. And Gwendolyn's has been rated 5 stars by Urban Spoon and Yelp. Get the taste of home while dining out. Or let us bring the taste of home to your home with our free delivery. Gwendolyn's Cafe and Catering, 2400 First Street, downtown Fort Myers.
Every Friday night at 6:45 p.m., experience Celebrate Recovery at Grace Church at 13 Southeast 21st Place in Cape Coral. The Celebrate Recovery is to encourage fellowship and to celebrate God's healing power in our lives as we work our way along the road to recovery. By working through the 12 steps and 8 principles of Celebrate Recovery, we grow spiritually and we are freed from our hurts, habits, and hang-ups. Celebrate Recovery every Friday night at 6:45 p.m. at Grace Church, 13 Southeast 21st Place in Cape Coral. If you're looking for a place to find recovery, please consider the 1149 Foundation, located at 50 Pine Island Drive in North Fort Myers in the AutoZone Plaza. We currently have 3 meetings per day at noon, 5:30, and 8 p.m. We've been offering this area a safe place for over 20 years. No matter what you've done, no matter where you've been, you're not alone and are welcome at the 1149 Foundation. Come check us out or call 677-6107. That's 677-6107.
I didn't know where to turn when our son started doing drugs. I didn't know our medicine cabinet was what got him started. I didn't know that help was available at SWAFUS. SWAFUS has a residential program just for kids 17 and younger, and weekly group therapy. The help is affordable too. I'm much smarter now, thanks to SWAFUS.
Addiction is a disease. Recovery is possible. We will help. Call 332-6989 now or visit us online at swfas.org.
A Heavenly Cut Landscaping and Celebrate Pressure Washing has been serving Lee County for over 7 years. Commercial and residential landscaping is our specialty. We also have an experienced pressure cleaning staff as well. A Heavenly Cut Landscaping and Celebrate Pressure Washing offers a free on-site estimate and is available by calling 738-9009. That's 738-9009. We are grateful for the opportunity to help beautify your property. Call today, 738-9009. A Heavenly Cut Landscaping and Celebrate Pressure Washing.
That's gonna leave a mark. But not if you bring your vehicle to D-Hab Your Automotive Rehab, your one-stop shop for all auto body work and paint. No job too big or small. With over 25 years experience, D-Hab can make your vehicle look like the accident never happened. D-Hab Your Automotive Rehab is located at 2534 Highland Street, 1 block off Edison Avenue in Fort Myers. So if you have a scratch, ding, dent, or bent, call D-Hab Your Automotive Rehab at 332-1813.
Designs that are enduring. Designs that are engaging. Designs from Ensight. Ensight is a leading Florida-based design, planning, and engineering firm offering innovative planning, landscape architecture, civil engineering, and more. Whether it's a place to live, work, learn, shop, or play, let the award-winning design team at Ensight help you achieve today's needs and tomorrow's possibilities. Call Ensight at 226-0024 or online at en-site.com.
Have you been charged with a crime? You could face serious penalties for conviction. medicine, and it is vitally important that you have skilled legal assistance on your side during this time. Call Brian L. Edwards, Esquire, Attorney at Law today. 888-512-6254. Results matter. With a track record of success, our methods are tried and true. Mistakes happen, but we can help. Brian L. Edwards, Esquire, Attorney at Law. Visit FortMyersCriminalLawFirm.com or call 888-512-6254. Call 277 or 775-9600. Now back to Rated R for Recovery on 96K Rock and 96krock.com.
I caught you knocking at my cellar door. I love you, baby, can I have some more? Ooh, the damage done.
I want to sing.
I wanted to play
I
that.
hit the city and I lost my band. I watched the needle take another man. Gone, gone, the damage done.
I love that song. We're going to start a feature in the upcoming weeks that is going to have Joy and I's favorite songs by different classic rockers that have to do with recovery or have to do with a spiritual connection. And that'll be a feature of the show coming up soon. I don't know when. We're just about out of time.
And that's what happens every week.
It does. It does.
Wow.
This is a gift that was given to us, this
Yes.
radio show.
It's really a gift to the community, to the
Thank the
families and
Beasleys.
friends.
Yeah. Thanks, Beasleys. Well, no, they absolutely thank the Beasleys.
I know. They don't know it, but they're in my prayers every day.
And
for
well,
this.
let them know. Well, well, he's not listening because I know what he's doing right now. And nothing bad, but he's just probably getting the kids
One of
ready to
these
go
days.
to sleep, to go to church and stuff, and thank the program director from 96K Rock and
Well,
96krock.com.
There's a lot of people out there that are not alcoholics and addicts that help alcoholics and addicts, and I don't know these people, but there's a lot of people that get the message out, and we need to be grateful for that.
We also want to acknowledge Tripod Bill and Troy that are behind the glass, that are
Bill
actually
and Troy.
They are doing
Hi,
a
Bill and
wonderful
Troy.
job of condensing. I don't know if condensing is the right word, but what they do is they're going to take the show and send it to the masses. So somehow, I don't know how they do that.
Wow.
It's called computers.
Mhm. Yeah, so you can get us online after the show. You can listen, and
You can like us on Facebook. We have a Facebook page.
we do.
Yes. So would you like us on Facebook when you get back to your office?
I don't do Facebook very much.
Okay.
But I like you.
Thank
Does
you.
that
She likes
help?
you in person.
She likes me.
And that's wonderful. So we want her information again.
We
and
do.
is there anything that we didn't touch upon that was on your heart?
Well, one of the things that we did just touch on is the pills. We see so many people nowadays with the pills that just bring them to their knees pretty quick, and they start out getting them through doctors and the medical profession, rightly so, because they had surgery or whatever the disease is, and then the brain gets hooked, and they start getting them through the internet or through multiple doctors, and then progress to heroin. Many people, because it's in some ways it's cheaper
that
and more
happens
accessible.
to Joe the plumber, doesn't it?
Exactly. It happens to so many people, and and then there's so much shame. Like, how would I get addicted to these pills, and why am I going on the internet, and why am I wanting to do heroin because I can find it easier or whatever.
Right, and that's not who I am.
That's not me. That's not me. And you know
And
what?
people in sobriety who have a long-term illness. And I'm not saying that if you need medicine, please take it with your doctor's, with your doctor's care and with thoughtful, prayerful, usually with someone else, like a sponsor or whatever, let them know what's going on.
If I'm standing on the sidewalk and I get hit by a bus, or God forbid a marble rye hits me on the head, right, Art? I'm going to need pain medication. If I get hit by a bus, I'm going to need pain medication.
Possibly.
What do you mean possibly?
Possibly.
Either that or I'm dead.
No, what if you don't? I mean, let's just not assume that not 100% you're going to need something. What if you don't? What if you're okay? What if you just leave that assessment to, yourself, your doctor?
Okay, I'm not saying I want pain medication. The pills scare me half to death.
I know, but we don't always have to just assume that.
Well, does the addiction happen because I like the feeling and I take more? Or because if I get the pills, right? If I get those pills and I give them to you, and say, would you give me these pills as directed, I'm good, aren't I?
That's a real safety. The brain still can get triggered. So I would encourage people
that's a scary thing.
It's very scary. And we see people with 10 years recovery, 12 years recovery, and the pills bring them back to their knees.
Yes.
So, there's no fail safe, but just know the brain doesn't care whether you get it from the alcohol store, whether you get it from the crack dealer, or whether you get it from the doctor. The brain just says, whoa, baby, here we go.
Our guest in the studio has been Brenda Iliff who's the executive director of Hazelden, the Naples department, and we're out of time. We're completely out of time. In fact, we're way late. So we want to thank everybody for listening. Matt, Art, V for calling in. It's just a wonderful. I can't tell you how grateful we are to have this little niblet. Okay. No, niblet is a golfing term. Of a radio show.
You've been corn from Green Giant.
Could be. That's a niblet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what you said.
The niblick.
Oh.
That's a golf club.
Yes. Or something like that.
Something like that. Anyway, you've been listening to Rated R for Recovery on 96 K Rock with your hosts Joy and Fletch. We'll be back next week, same time, same station, God willing.
Sometimes you just never know what you don't know. Did you know that in some bankruptcy cases, when you have more than one mortgage or line of credit on your property, it may be possible to